particular wit or intelligence.
Yeah, it sounds like one of these things that just because a computer can do it doesn't mean we have to do it. It doesn't seem like it's worthwhile. Now, last time when we were talking about Ice Age recently, you said it had some pretty crass humor in it. Do you see any of that in G-Force?
The humor in G-Force is pretty limp. There's not a lot of that kind of stuff. There's some crude potty humor. There's one of the characters, one of the guinea pigs that they pick up in the civilian world. There's some flatulence jokes around that character. Little things like that. Nothing huge. There are a number of pop culture references that parents will notice that kids hopefully will not pick up on for like another, say, 10 or 15 years or so. Like a scene where the hero, Darwin, who's voiced by Sam Rockwell, is fighting a robotic coffee maker gone bad, and he tosses out the line, "Yippee-ki-yay, coffee maker." Yeah,
the kids aren't going to get that one, no. So, save the price of admission, skip it.
Yes, but like I said, there's another movie with almost the same premise that is done with much more wit and style than G-Force.
So what do you like most about Bolt?
It's funny. The movie moguls of old used to say that they're the sort of movies that they like watching themselves. Today we live in the age of the blockbuster. Hollywood producers want to make the kind of movies that will pack in the crowds. But John Lasseter and his people at Pixar, I think they really do it. They make the kind of movies that they want to watch. Now that Lasseter is the head of Disney Animation, we may see more movies like this coming from that studio. This is what is happening with Bolt, which is produced by John Lasseter. It's smart. It has characters that you can actually care about. It has a plot that is well written and that it has real emotional moments. It draws you in. It's smartly written. It's entertaining. It takes the same basic premise as G-Force, and then it does it right. And that's really the best thing that I can say about it.
All right, and it is out on DVD now?
Yeah, this week we've got a couple of things worth mentioning. Also in the vein of family film, but with heavy caveats that it has to be for the right kind of older child. Coraline, Henry Selick's stop-motion nightmare movie based on the Neil Gaiman story. One of the most inventive films of the year, but also some pretty disturbing imagery. This is sort of like Hans Christian Andersen or the Grimm brothers filtered through a more modern sensibility. So Coraline. Also out on DVD, a movie to skip, Watchmen, the adaptation of the graphic novel, famous for its deconstruction of the superhero genre, but just, first of all, nihilistic and bleak and meaningless, and then secondly, piled on with totally gratuitous and unnecessary sex and violence.
All right, which ones to watch, which ones to skip from Stephen Greydonis. Remind us, Stephen, where we can find you online.
My review of G-Force is coming at decentfilms.com.
All right, thank you, Stephen Greydonis. Always good to have you with us on the Sunrise Morning Show. It's 12 past the hour, and it's time to take a look at the forecast with meteorologist Larry Hanley.
Well, it looks like the eastern corners of the nation, meaning New England, parts of Georgia, and Florida, look to be wet today with showers and thunderstorms. Some of those extend along the Gulf of Mexico coastline over into parts of Texas. Some severe storms are a possibility over the, let's say, northern plain states into the upper Midwest. And out west, it looks mainly dry along the west coast. I think the coolest air is in parts of the Pacific Northwest, 60s and 70s there. A little bit cooler air over New England, too. But the hottest weather is over the central United States, where 90s and 100s will be common. Make it a great day. I'm meteorologist Larry Hanley on the Sunrise Morning Show.
Thanks, Larry. 13 past the hour on this Friday morning, July 24th. Somehow, some way, we're going to try to do without Matt Swain next week. Matt's going to take a little vacation, but before he goes, he's going to share with us his summer reading list. Matt, the first book on your list, a post-apocalyptic novel with a twist?
Yeah, it's kind of a fun one. I'm a sucker for, instead of worshiping the future, I like to at least speculate about it. This is a book called Canticle for Leibowitz. It's by a friend of mine. It's recommended by a friend of mine, Greg Westwood, Paula's husband.
I was going to say, Walter Miller is your friend. That's the author.
We're not acquainted with one another, but the whole premise of the book, it's post-apocalyptic. It starts 600 years after a nuclear holocaust has destroyed civilization as we know it, and the world, instead of looking like a futuristic landscape, is kind of more like the Middle Ages. There's been this backlash against the technology that brought on this nuclear disaster, and so there's this thing called the simplification that everybody's gone under. So it looks like the Middle Ages, and it starts at a Roman Catholic monastery where one of the monks, one of the novices, discovers this shopping list that belongs to a Beatus named Leibowitz, and this Leibowitz guy has been an employee of some armed facility, an army facility, and he